Hey guys, it's Di, and today's going to be a kind of vlogged style type of video, and it may not be a subject that is interesting to everyone. I'm just going to be touching on this occasionally, kind of checking in, and today's video is almost like an introduction to my story. I just recently found out that I have hyperthyroidism that was most likely induced by my most recent pregnancy, and so I just wanted to kind of introduce my story and talk about it a little bit, and then also I will be checking in periodically on it. So this may not be something that's interesting to all of my subscribers. If it's not, you can just skip over these videos. I'll just be doing them occasionally, and obviously there may be new people out there that have a similar story or just want to find out information about this. So I just wanted to do a video, kind of let you know what's going on with me right now. And I thought it was important to do a video about this because of two reasons. One, apparently I found out that 1 out of 10 women have thyroid issues after they have a pregnancy, and a lot of them do not know it. Either through misdiagnosis, they get diagnosed with something else and actually ends up it was their thyroid, or they just never know what's causing them the issues after they had their pregnancy. And the other thing is that I haven't been to the endocrinologist yet. I have an appointment coming up, and they're the doctors that kind of specialize in it. My OB is the person that caught this. But I'll probably find out more information then, but looking back just after I've been online, of course, researching and, doing the Google thing, I found that there could have been some unexplained things that happened in my past, even as young as a child, some health issues wise, that really never had an explanation, and it may all come back to thyroid issues. I will be botching all of these words, by the way, because this is very new for me, but talked more to the doctor, and it could be something that was totally brought on by my pregnancy. Some people have never had thyroid issues before, and pregnancy is what kind of kickstarts it. And then for other people, they've had underlying thyroid issues. Maybe they did or did not know it, and pregnancy can kind of induce them or make them worse and that sort of thing. So I actually found out about this on a really odd whim. Kind of randomly on whim, I asked her if my thyroid levels had ever been checked during pregnancy, and she said that in fact they did. So she pulled up my numbers, and she said, more than likely it was fine, but she'd just go ahead and check because we were chatting about kind of some of the recent developments. And so when she checked my numbers, she said they were slightly high, on the kind of hyper side, not quite slightly into an issue area yet. But why don't we go ahead and run a blood test, is how they check your thyroid. And they would just check my levels, make sure everything had gotten back to normal after I was, no longer pregnant. Because the last time it had been tested was when I was still pregnant with Natalie. So they ran my thyroid test, they got the results back, and referred to me to an endocrinologist because apparently through the hormones from pregnancy or whatever has kickstarted my thyroid to basically go bonkers, and I'm producing way too much of the thyroid hormone, more than I'm supposed to, and I'm very, very far outside the range. So I was kind of like, okay, well that's interesting. I didn't really have any symptoms that I knew of other than I can be described as a hyper person. But obviously right now I have baby weight that I have not been able to get off. So the weight issue is totally reversed for me. And after doing some reading on Google, apparently this can happen, even though people commonly associate hyperthyroidism with easily losing weight and maybe even becoming underweight. For some of those lucky individuals out there like myself, it can actually make you gain weight and doesn't necessarily cause you to lose weight. So temperature sensitivity was really the big thing that I, now looking back and knowing that maybe my thyroid levels are a little bit off, now that I know that, temperature sensitivity is one thing that I majorly have noticed, that I'm always hot-natured. I've always been a little bit more on the hot-natured side just in general, but I can be totally fine middle of winter. Everyone else has to have sweaters on in the house or whatnot, and I'm running around in tank tops and shorts. So this is basically just kind of an introduction. I mean, the main reason for this video, obviously I don't have a lot of information other than that, but I thought, this was a good type of video to put out there because, one, it is an issue for people that have recently been pregnant, and it can be somewhat common, and people may never know, and sometimes, a lot of times, your body will just correct itself and get it back to normal, and then other times you could have issues that go on for years until you finally sort out that issue is actually your thyroid. A lot of times it may even get misdiagnosed. So if you've had any issues with I mean, I don't want to say just not being able to lose the baby weight because, you know, obviously that can be just tough on its own sometimes. But the heat and sensitivity issues, I'm trying to think what else I've read. But supposedly hyperthyroidism is supposed to make you like anxious a lot. So we'll see if that really, you know, if they give me some hypothyroid medicine, if I'm suddenly like super relaxed around the kids. I don't think that's gonna happen. I mean, obviously having two toddlers is stressful at times when they're both demanding things, but they can be one thing that having a thyroid that's overproducing can cause a bit of anxiousness in you. And then also if you have a hypothyroid, it can make you sluggish and just fatiguish. And so there is after talking to one of my daughter's doctors, there is a condition for pregnant women that's very common where your thyroid kind of goes back and forth after you're pregnant and can go from one to the other. So if you've recently been pregnant and you just feel like something may be off, this may be something that you could look into and see if there's, you know, maybe your symptoms line up with things on the internet, and it might be something just to look into. So this is really just an introduction of sorts. I don't have much to say other than this. You know, this will be kind of an ongoing thing, and I thought this would be just a nice video to make as an introduction, maybe almost like a public service announcement, because I didn't realize that it affected quite such a large percentage of people after they've been pregnant until I actually looked into it. So until I have my follow-up appointment with the endocrinologist, I don't really know what avenue will take as far as, you know, working to get my thyroid levels back into a normal range. I'm hoping it's just a lower dose of medication and then, you know, everything will kind of get back in the normal range. I don't really honestly know if I've ever had my thyroid tested, so for all I know, my thyroid could have been in abnormal ranges my entire life and I maybe would have never known. So we'll see, you know, I mean, that's kind of my hope for the outcome, but I won't really know more until I have my appointment. But this is kind of a general public service announcement. It may be something to Google, look into if you've maybe had issues after you've been pregnant, and it's something that's fairly reasonably common for people to have issues with, apparently. So thanks so much for watching. Let me know if you guys have had any experiences with either hypo or hyperthyroidism, and especially if you had issues after pregnancy or any sort of hormone treatment and that sort of thing, because hormones can actually, you know, kind of kick your thyroid into high gear or change its effects. So thanks so much for watching and have a great day.